May I come in, ma'am?
Please come.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Can sit?
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Praveen Kumar. I am from Hyderabad. My age is 23 years old, and I completed my BTech from JNTUH, and I pursued my inter and school from the Sri Gayatri Junior College and Religions Grammar High School. And I'm from nuclear family where my father worked as a mason contractor, and my mother is a homemaker, and I also have a younger brother who's pursuing his 8th standard. And my hobbies are watching anime and reading and swimming.
Reading and swimming.
Yeah.
So do you like swimming?
Yes, ma'am.
How will sportsmanship, as a sports person, you were doing, swimming. So how will sportsmanship help you on ship?
Man, sportsmanship help on the ship to communicate easily in a pressure conditions where you can stay calm and think our presence of mind. It makes more active of our mind.
Why do you want to join Merchant Navy?
Ma'am, when I was in 4th year, my professor was a retired Merchant Navy officer. So while looking into him, I inspired, and later he told about all these things about Merchant Navy life and disciplined career. So I want to join because of his inspiration.
He was your inspiration.
He was
to join
my
this.
inspiration.
Okay, that's great. So what are the challenges you're going to be facing in this career?
Ma'am, the challenges are like we have to stay away from our family, and there is less social life, and medical condition is little bit poor according to the unland. But I'm mentally and physically stable, and I can do this because I prepared for these conditions.
Great. So Praveen, right?
Yes,
Praveen, what is your father's profession?
Ma'am, my father is a mason contractor.
Mason contractor.
Yes, ma'am.
Ever helped him?
Yeah, ma'am. During holidays and Sundays and weekends, I go there for help. And I worked also as a supervisor under his constructions.
What did you learn from there?
Ma'am, I learned the more safety is important during work because construction we have a lot of dangers while working. So the laborers I have to monitor them to do the correct work, and I have to manage the labor force, their works, and I understand the time management and safety moreover.
What do you understand by safety on ship?
Ma'am, safety on ship where a person should be wear all the equipment and work under any danger condition without any injury.
Very good. What do you understand by when we say why should we hire you? So what is that X factor in you that we should hire you or be a part of our,
Ma'am, towards the career goals and my determination more stronger than others, and my presence of mind in work is more because I worked as a marriage eventer. So where I have to control all the event on my shoulders. So I managed it well. So I know that how the pressure I have to handle. So I can suitable for this job. I believe that. Yes,
Tell
sir.
me about that. Ki, what is the job and responsibility of a TME
Sir,
on ship?
first of all, we have to say our safety is more important of a TME.
Why safety is more important?
Sir, when we are first time on the ship, we don't know where the dangers comes from because of the lot of rotating machines and sucking equipments like compressor and the hot boilers. We have a lot of danger situations. So we have to know about all those things and where we have to use our kit, like safety kit like apron, blouses and shoes, helmet, goggles to save ourselves. It comes priority.
Okay. Now tell me about that. Ki, what are the names of different machinery in used in a engine room on ship?
In engine room, we use like freshwater generator, marine purifier, marine air compressor, incinerator, sewage treatment plant, oily water separator.
What is sewage treatment plant?
So sewage treatment plant is a equipment which we use to treat human wastage and like human wastage and these things on which generated on ship.
Okay. What is the function of the aeration tank used in a sewage treatment plant?
Sir, aeration tank is used to create a aerobic reaction in presence of oxygen.
Very good. What is the aerobic reactions?
Sir, the reaction takes place in presence of oxygen.
Okay.
It's called aeration reaction.
And what is the anaerobic reactions?
Sir, in presence of oxygen, we use this reaction.
Hmm.
So it is called as anaerobic reaction.
Anaerobic reactions. Are you sure that anaerobic reaction is
There is no oxygen is used.
there is no
No
oxygen?
oxygen.
Okay. So which reaction is used on a ship?
Aerobic reaction is used on ship.
Aerobic reaction is used on a ship. Very good. Why anaerobic not used?
Sir, because it produces harm gases like hydrogen sulfide
Okay.
and methane, which dangerous to the human inhaling and health.
Very good.
So we don't use.
Okay. What is the function of the screen filter used in a sewage treatment plant?
So the screen filter used to separate the organic and inorganic coming from the pump.
What do you mean the inorganic?
Sir, inorganic which can not deposed in that. So like plastic and
Okay.
somewhat like clothes, we remove them from
Okay.
this.
Tell me about what is the oily water separator?
Sir, oily water separator used to separate the oil coming from the bulge tank and separate the water to discharge on overboard.
In which principle oily water separator works?
Sir, it works on the collision filter principle and gravity principle.
Okay. Now tell me about what is the difference between the oil separator or oily water separator?
Sir, oil separator is used in refrigeration to separate the refrigerant and the oil vapor, and oily water separator used to separate the water and the oil.
In which principle oil separator works?
Oil separator works on Newton's third law. There is a baffle plates which collect the oil and separate the vapor.
Okay. And what are the main component of refrigeration system?
The main components of refrigeration system comes like compressor, condenser, expansion valve, evaporator.
What is the function of the expansion valve?
So there are main three functions of expansion valve. It regulates the flow of refrigerant. It converts the high pressure, medium temperature to the low pressure, low temperature liquid refrigerant, and it controls the degree of superheat.
What are the applications of a Bernoulli's theorem on ship?
So the applications of Bernoulli's theorem on ship, expansion valve in refrigerator, and Venturi meter on freshwater generator, centrifugal pump, and nozzles.
Okay. What about the back pressure valve?
So back pressure valve is used to stop the backflow of the high pressure coming from the wedge room to the low pressure meat room.
Okay. And where is it located?
Sir, it is located after the wedge room.
After the
Wedge room.
wedge room. Okay. Explain boilers mountings.
Boiler mountings are like external and internal mountings. Sir. These are for safety. Like external, we have a pug valve, safety valve, steam stop valve, water level indicator, feed check valve, and internal like Chevron, nozzle distributor, dryer, fusible valve.
What is the function of the cyclone separator?
So cyclone separator and Chevron separators are work for the one process. Like they create a centrifugal force which separate the moisture and the vapor.
Okay. Tell me about that. What is the difference between the saturated or superheated steam?
So saturated steam which present in that moisture content is there. Superheater, there is no moisture in this steam.
Okay. And what is the difference between superheater and desuperheater?
So superheater converts the saturated steam into the superheater, and desuperheater convert the superheated steam into the saturated steam.
Okay. Explain the third law of thermodynamics.
So the third law of thermodynamics states that when there is a two bodies thermal equilibrium with the third body, then we can say all three bodies are in thermal equilibrium.
Okay. What do you mean by the entropy?
Sir, entropy is the defines that randomness of the molecule. It tells that how much energy is required to do a work.
And the difference between enthalpy or entropy?
Sir, enthalpy deals with the internal energy, total internal energy, and entropy defines that how much energy we need required to do the work.
Okay. Difference between isothermal or isobaric process?
Sir, isothermal, where it is a thermodynamic process where temperature is constant, there is no change in temperature. Whereas isobaric comes for where the pressure is constant, there is no change in pressure.
Okay. And what is the purpose of a freshwater generator on a ship?
So freshwater generator on a ship is used to generate the fresh water for the on ship by using the distillation process principle.
Okay, what is the distillation process?
So distillation process is like combined effect of evaporation and condensation.
What do you mean with condensation and evaporation?
Sir, evaporation means that we are converting the water into the vapor, and condensation means we are converting the vapor into the water.
Okay, and tell me about that. What is the purifier?
Sir, purifier used to collect all the waste, all the sediment and the solid sediments present in the oil, sir, like fuel oil, heavy fuel oil, lube oil.
Explain what is desludging mechanism in purifier.
So desludging mechanism used to remove all the solid materials by using the bowl opening water, by countering the bowl closing water. When the bowl comes down, the periphery part of the bowl is opened and solid impurities get out of from that.
In which principle purifier works?
Such centrifugal force on centrifugal force of principle it works, sir.
And what is the difference between centripetal or centrifugal force?
The centrifugal force acting outwards to the center of the mass, and centripetal works inwards to the center of gravity.
Okay, tell me about the units of the dynamic viscosity.
So the units of the dynamic viscosity is pascals per second.
And the unit of the kinematic viscosity?
So the units of the kinematic viscosity is meters per second, meter squares per second.
Explain Otto cycle.
Sir, Otto cycle is a thermodynamic process where it follows the it is used in SI engine. It follows the different thermodynamic process like heat, isentropic compression.
What is isentropic compression?
Isentropic compression is a compression where the pressure and temperature is increased even though heat is not transferred to the surroundings.
Okay, tell me about that. Or names the some integrated component used in four-stroke diesel engine.
Four-stroke diesel engine, we have cylinder head, cylinder block, cylinder liner, piston rings like compression ring and oil scrapping ring.
Okay.
And the fuel injector,
Okay.
Inlet valve, exhaust valve, connecting rod, crankshaft.
What is the purpose of the indicator cock?
Sir, indicator cock used to blow through process. It removes all the moisture and accumulated matter from the last cycle.
And what is the purpose of the air starting?
Sir, two-stroke engine is very huge. We can't start it, so we use compressed air through the air starting valve. It gives a momentum to the piston to rotate.
Okay. Difference between the two-stroke, four-stroke construction wise.
Sir, construction wise, the main construction we can directly look like valve and port mechanism. Okay. And there is no rocker arm in two-stroke. There is rocker arm in four-stroke, and there is no stuffing box in four-stroke. There is stuffing box in two-stroke.
What is the purpose of the two-stroke some stuffing box?
So stuffing box stop the exchange of the oil moisture and the air from the crankcase to the scavenge port to the crankcase. Also stop the excess oil on the piston.
Okay, very good. Okay, so Praveen,
Yes,
very
sir.
good. Technical is good, but you know very well ki you stuck a little bit in a. I'm asking to what is the difference between aerobic or anaerobic reactions? Understood or not?
Yes.
What is the aerobic reactions? Aerobic reaction means decomposition at the presence of oxygen. But anaerobic reaction there is not used on a ship. Why? Because the hydrogen sulfide gas is produced, which is very harmful. Inhale. If someone is inhale, in any engineers inhale it, so you know very well it's survive for many months for a asthma. Understood or not? That's why anaerobic reaction can't be used. Understood or not? Means all over is good, but you need to understand key or the same point is a stuffing box. Purpose of the stuffing box, you know very well, to stop the leakage.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Whatever the air coming from the scavenge spot to crankcase.
Yes.
Yes or no? So you need to, all over is good, but you have to revise. Okay?
Yes,
So
sir.
if we say about the overall performance of the non-tech, it was fine, Praveen. However, when you enter, and you ask, may I have a seat? You were confused with may and can.
Yeah.
So you have to say, may I have a seat? Why may, not can? May is much politer than can. And
Okay.
for formal use, you use may instead of can. May or could can work. So either may or could, not can to be good. Okay?
Okay,
So you have to be very much clear about it. At times you were confused, Praveen. So your mind has to be very clear. You don't have to be nervous. You know everything.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the need to be nervous? Okay, so you don't have to be nervous at all. You have practiced it. You know it. Very good. A little bit energy is required, Praveen.
Okay, ma'am.
At times it's going monotonous. Now monotonous means there's no high pitch or low pitch. Right? So our variations of voice, when I'm speaking to you, I'm going a little higher and a little lower. Why? Because this requires variation. When there is variation, you are not bored to listen to someone.
Okay.
But when there is no variations at all, either you're very fast or very slow, then the person gets bored. Either he's not able to process the message out there. Okay. See, grammar is a little bit problematic. You said tell, he tell me, he told me.
Okay.
Okay, poor. You were saying about the advantages, disadvantages, challenges. You said poor something. You don't have to use a negative word. Please do not use that.
Okay.
You can say the rough weather and other challenges, but do not use some negative words out there. That's much better today. Okay. Eye contact was fine. Use it. Used.
Okay.
Not pressure. Pressure.
Okay.
Shh. Sound. Okay. A little bit of pronunciation, but you are fine, Praveen. You're able to answer, able to give the things. Some questions were not prepared by you also. It was asked to you, but you were able to process the idea. That is what we want, and you were able to do that. So very good on that behalf.
Thank you, ma'am.